Hello, everybody. I'm back with part two of what really happened to me. And I left off last time where I was talking about Luis and how lazy and horrible he was while I was working, right? So this guy did not respect my job. He didn't respect how hard I was working. He never acknowledged it. So with Sean and Luis, they were raised to think I don't have to care about anyone. I can take whatever I want. I can take whatever I want. Everybody has to serve me on a silver platter, and I don't have to do anything for anybody else. It was very rare that they actually put in a shred of effort into making me feel like I was loved. Um, but yeah, they were just raised completely wrong. Um, I lived with both of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't completely crazy for dating these people. We had all these similar hobbies, we liked all the same things. We were actually having a lot of fun. But the crazy thing is how can we have so much in common? How can I have so much in common with a person? We like all the same things, we're having a great time, but for some reason, they wanted evil and I wanted a regular life. Now, I was the one thinking about, a home that's not broken, doesn't need repairs, just like a regular house. And, having food in the fridge and not having clothes with holes in them. Like, that was just normal stuff that I was always thinking about. I was always, like, looking on listings on the internet, and I'm saving, right? And he was just planning, the only thing that he was planning on, how am I going to hurt her? That's the only thing he thought of. He didn't care about his future. He didn't care about anything. He was just a loser. I don't know. But we had so much in common, so, like, how are you not? It's so confusing. Like, I don't victim blame for that reason because, like, I get it. I get it. Mm-mm. They always had this mentality that I can take anything I want from people and everyone has to serve me. They they were such losers. They were so stupid and they were so lazy and they were such losers. But they still expected people to serve them as if they were a king, even though they like didn't deserve it. They thought that they were born special and they didn't have to do anything, and that everybody else they can walk all over everybody else. They were really horrible people. Um, so yeah, Luis, he did not respect my work at all. I would tell him, I'm tired, I need to lay down, I need to, close my eyes. He would like shake me, be like, hey, wake up, hey, look at this, hey, wake up. Like, he definitely pushed me to my limits. And for a while, what was pretty cool about me was that for a while I was able to like work like that for like 7 months. I could work like that for like a year, I think. Um, and I was like actually still pulling in money like that too. Like with this guy like acting like a baby, and I had all my responsibilities, and I would clean too because it's getting too dirty. It's like I can't leave it alone and he won't do it. But humans can go a pretty long time doing that, I tell you. I'm pretty impressed with myself though. So yeah, Luis, he was exhausting me. These dudes had no consideration for anybody else around them. Doesn't matter if they say they love you. And the crazy thing is that even if they did not consider my life as a human, um, they would still want to be in bed with me. Like, they still wanted to sleep with me. They still wanted my body, even though they had no regard for another human life around them. Because my mommy says I don't have to do anything for anybody and everybody has to serve me because I was born a king. And that's not okay to raise people like that. I don't understand why their parents thought it was like good to raise them in that way. Um, yeah. So eventually I got so tired of this, I called up my dad and I said, Dad, can I move back in with you? Here's the situation. So I told my dad everything that's happening, and my dad said, if Luis is benefiting off of your money, he should be helping you. And I said, yeah, exactly, that's what I said. Because, like I said, my dad is halfway reasonable, halfway evil. So, this is the best I got. He was the only person I had in my life. My dad was the only person that I have because my mom ran away to become homeless. She's probably dead now, because she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle what my dad did to her. Um, so, crazy stuff, right? Um, so, I called up my dad and he's like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. He picked me up and all my stuff. And I hate moving. Okay, listen, my abusers, they think that I'm a superhuman. Okay, listen, I am like 5 feet tall, maybe like 5'1". I can lift maybe like 60, 70 pounds at max. And I'm a woman, I bleed every month. Listen, I don't like moving all the time. I can't move my stuff all the time. I don't know why my abusers thought, well, you're superhuman. We don't care. You can make $1 million come out your butt. You can lift a car. We don't care because whatever. Like, this is why I don't victim blame. This is why I don't blame victims at all. Um, yeah. Also, when I was living with Sean, when my period would come around, I would feel a little bad because periods really hurt, like periods hurt. And he thought that when my period was coming, that means I wanted to fight with him. Instead of like, oh no, I did not. I was like hoping, I was expecting, give me a hug, get me something to eat, help me out, But he was like, oh no, you're in a bad mood. So what, you're ungrateful? Oh, they would always call me ungrateful. When I got tired, I would get tired. Okay, with Sean was exhausting. I had to sleep all the time because of Sean. And they're like, oh, really? You're sleeping again? I'm like, yeah, this dude is exhausting. He's a huge energy vampire. That's how he got famous, by taking my energy. And I was just sleeping all day. And they were thinking, like, oh, you're lazy, you're ungrateful. I was not. He was genuinely trying to hurt me. Um, and they didn't. Sean was very sneaky in the way that he would rope me into arguments, and he would he always had the excuse of like, oh, I'm not touching you, oh, I'm not touching you, yes, but I also live with you, I also have to be prepared for school. Not everybody can sit around arguing with him for hours, and he just hated it when people were comfortable. Those people just hate it. If they see someone comfortable, if they see someone else happy, it's a whole problem for them. I don't get it. But anyways, yeah, so Luis, he got me into an accident. He was waking me up when I was sleeping. He wouldn't let me rest. He always made me clean. I had to clean, like the house was getting too dirty. They're like, wow, you're not cleaning. And I'm like, dude, you stay here all day. You stay here all day on your computer. You could have gotten up. I come home, nothing is done, right? So I'm like, man, it's getting really gross. I have to do it. And yeah, I did that for a really, really long time actually. I'm pretty impressed with how much weight I can pull. I was still making money, I was still cleaning, I was doing my best, and I kept that up for like a year. I was like, wow, I can actually like do a lot. Um, and they always treated me like I was the loser though, even though I was the one pulling the weight. Like these people just only brought darkness into this world. Those people just bring darkness into the world. It never made sense to me. It's like for as long as I lived, I could not imagine just being this evil villain all the time. I can't help it. I enjoy it when things are nice and clean and they smell good and it's organized. I like that. So I cannot imagine a life any other way. I couldn't imagine what that must be like. I would never be able to understand him. So yeah, I called up my dad and I'm like, Dad, can you come pick me up? I told my dad the whole situation. My dad said, if he's benefiting from your money, then he should be helping you. So I was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can you pick me up? He's like, yes, I can come pick you up. And this is where things get really twisted. Okay, at this point, after all that, I'm like traumatized. I'm really traumatized. I'm all shaken up. I'm really tired, like mentally, like I'm depressed. I needed, like, I was still so shaken up. And it actually took me years in order to get my mental health back into place, into a regular, like, this is where the story takes a really dark turn. So after all the abuse that I went through with Sean and Luis, I'm pretty shaken up, understandably so, undeservingly, the way they wanted. And my parents started abusing me too. My dad and my stepmom. My dad got like remarried to a girl, to like a woman, and she ended up being pretty nasty. Like at first, they always seem fine, and then they end up being like horrible. So I am living the Disney princess life. My evil stepmother. I can sing, I can dance, I'm all cutesy and soft. I like bunnies. Yeah. Um, so, yes, Luis abused me, and then he got me into an accident, yes. And so, from the accident, I got this really, really big bill. And, it wasn't my fault. The most horrible soul crushing thing about this is that this was not my fault. If I had control over the situation, it wouldn't have happened. He was hurting me and exhausting me so much to the point where I got into an accident, and even though he was causing me pain, oh yeah, um, yeah, he would freeze me. He would like R word me. He would exhaust me, right? So I got into an accident, and I ended up having this huge bill. I owed this company like tons of money, and I'm still paying them an extra $500 a month. And it's the hardest thing on the planet. And I've been paying that for years. Even though he was the one hurting me, all of the documents and all of the papers are in my name. And I've been crying all day today and yesterday about it because I always see people having fun. I always see people buying clothes they want, going to vacations like they want, and um, this is when I moved back into my dad's house, this is where everything turned really dark because I'm like, oh, I'll get better. I'll get out of this. I'll fix the bill. I just need to keep working. I just need to keep working. So my parents were evil. They started abusing me too, as I'm trying to pay for this gigantic extra bill. Yeah. So the common thing with all my abusers, anytime I had anything nice, because I work so hard. I work so hard. And anything I earned, I would earn nice things from working. And every time I had something nice, either my ex or my family, they had to destroy it. Like, I was helpless here. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. And we'll get more into that later in the story. But every time I worked for something nice, it was just destroyed. I'm sorry, I'm like emotional. I've been crying all day today and yesterday. Um, I don't understand how I could live my whole life with no one loving me. Like, like I know what it's like to love somebody else, but no one has ever loved me. Like, nobody. Like, why am I here by myself? Um, and I can spiritually hear, like, my third eye is open. I can hear everything. And, you know, for years, they would like laugh at me because they're like, oh, I know I left her like that. Oh, yeah, I know I destroyed an innocent person. Oh, ha ha ha, I destroyed an innocent person. We know she's living bad. This is great. I could always hear them laughing at me as I'm like trying so hard to take care of myself and take care of this huge bill. It's the hardest thing on the planet. And I just hear people just judging me for it too. Like it's my fault. How would that be my fault? Like it's not my fault. Those people, my abusers, my stepmom, my dad, my ex-boyfriends, and their friends too. My ex-boyfriends had friends and they were all in on it too. And they were all cheering them on. Yeah, keep abusing her. Woohoo. Like I don't know what it's like to be loved. Anytime someone's like nice to me, I'm like okay, I moved away from them. And I live in like this new city away from them. And everyone's like super nice. And like at first I was like, like what's going on? But I kind of like it here. But the thing that makes me the most angry and like the thing that messes me up the most is like through my developmental stages, through the age that I was supposed to be preparing the rest of my life and saving money and buying a home and just regular normal things. Throughout those whole stages, they made sure that I was abused. For no reason. No reason. I was the nice one. I was the forgiving one, the kind one, the understanding one. I was always there. I was always trying to bring nice things into everybody's life. I always wanted to help. But I have no idea what it's like to be loved. And it's the kind of the most depressing thing ever. Like I cry about it a lot. So yeah, I moved back in with my parents after Luis got me into that accident and I told my dad that I have this huge bill and okay, here's the thing with my dad, like halfway being evil, halfway being normal. Um I told him like, Dad, I have this huge bill. I won't be able to help you with rent. Um I'm in huge debt right now. if I don't pay for this, everything is going to get messed up. Everything's going to fall apart. I won't be able to do anything. My whole life is ruined. Um, so for a while, I was still dealing with like depression. Like at that point, I was still like so shaken up. And, for a while I was like trying to rest a little bit, but I also was trying. I was trying very hard um, to make the money. It was very hard. Like, I was definitely trying to make the money. And I don't know, like, this whole thing was just so soul crushing at this point because it's been so many years of abuse. Like, I've been abused for 12 years, I've been abused for 15 years straight. And so all of that kind of just piles onto you, and it's very, very hard to make money that way. It's very hard to show up for work. But I was trying. I was like definitely putting myself out there. I was trying, but I kept slowing down because my depression was weighing on me too bad. And then my parents started to get like a little impatient with me and frustrated, and then they started like screaming at me and calling me lazy and saying that I don't work when I was. They would make up that I didn't work when I was. All of my abusers, after I was getting so tired and I was earning so much money and I was earning so many nice things, they would always say, "You don't work, you're lazy." After I was at work, I am not lazy. I'm always trying to do something. Even if I am depressed, even if I was hurt, even if I was, you know, even if I was temporarily disabled. Yeah, anytime I had something nice, they would hurt me for it. They would get mad at me, like, "Oh, really? You have nice things in your life that you earned? Well, we're gonna take that away." Like, I earned a really good job, actually, and my parents got mad at me and took it away from me. Like, I earned a good job. I loved that job. They started abusing me, and I couldn't work at that place anymore because when I got home, they wanted to argue and fight with me. And here's the really dark thing about my parents. They knew what I went through. They would scream at me, "We don't care, shut up, you're lazy." And so, when I got home from work, yeah, they would start arguing with me. They would start to fight with me. And so I got so exhausted from that I couldn't go to work anymore, which didn't help because now they had even more reason to start yelling at me. Um, this is where things get really, really dark. So they already knew I was pretty shaken up from my exes. And they acted like, "Oh, we understand, it's okay, sweetie." And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's not okay for no reason. And then they have like this huge problem with me existing. Like, how dare I be alive? How dare I be a human? How dare I? I don't know how I like still have the ability to be kind after all of that. After not one person standing up for me, not one person showing me love in a close way. Yeah, I've had internet friends that I talk to sometimes, but they weren't close. So anyone close to me, um, yeah, like not one person was there. No one stood up for me. No one took care of me. Nothing. So, my parents, I told them what was going on, and they were like, they were trying to have me locked up in an insane asylum. They were trying to put me on drugs. They were trying to say that I was mentally ill and crazy, but ever since I got away from them, I've been using natural remedies to make myself normal. Obviously, like I'm fine. You can see me talking, and I still go to work and I'm fine. I'm not as shaken as I was, but back then I was a little bit shaken up. And they knew it, and instead of helping me get better, they were hoping that they could traumatize me more. My own parents, my own parents that I had like no one else, my own parents, and I had no one else. They knew I was shaken up, and they were hoping that my condition got worse instead of better. They were hoping to traumatize me more. They were hoping that I lost all of my stuff, that I was homeless, they think it's funny. They thought it was so funny. My dad is seriously deranged. So my dad, actually, my whole life growing up, he told me that he was an alcoholic, and I always see him drink beer. He always buys beer, and I never really like paid any attention to it because like it was normal. I'm like, oh, he's just having a beer or whatever. No, he drinks a lot. He always buys alcohol, and I never really noticed that. I'm like, oh, that's why he's like that. I'm like, Dad, why are you so crazy? Why are you so evil? Because he's always drinking. Because he's always drinking. So I noticed this, and I'm like, oh God, they're gonna lock me up in a mental hospital. They're going to put me on drugs. They're gonna just ruin me. They're gonna make my condition worse. They're gonna just push me down, push me down. These people just wanted me in a ditch, dead somewhere. Like, and I didn't deserve it. I was the nice one. Like, I genuinely did not deserve any of that. Like, it was all for no reason. Like, I cannot believe it. I still can't believe it. I still cannot wrap my head around it. Hey, if any of my abusers are out there watching this, maybe you should do the right thing and pay back my money. I don't know, just putting that out there. I know they won't. They're still probably like deranged. They're still probably like, not there. Ugh. Yeah, just putting it out there. Maybe you should pay my money back if they wanted to do the right thing. If one day they ever decided, you know what, maybe I'll become a good person. They're probably gonna die like that. They're probably gonna die evil. Evil and stupid. They're gonna die that way. A human life. A human life just wasted like that. Mm. I don't know why people just think human life doesn't matter. But yeah, they were hoping they can traumatize me more. My evil stepmother, my evil father, they were hoping, like, we're going to traumatize her more. She's already pretty shaken. We'll finish her off. I did not deserve any of that. I was the nice one. I was understanding. I was loving. I was helpful. I was productive. Whatever, right? They were hoping to finish me off. My own family. And they think it's funny. They think that the fact that I would be upset about that, they would laugh. Because my dad's an alcoholic. Because my dad likes to drink too much. So they think it's funny. They think it's funny that I would be hurt, that my own family would try to finish the job. My dad watched me collect stuffed animal bunnies the whole time I was growing up. He knew that I was soft and sweet. He knew I was not evil. He knew I didn't deserve it. I'm so sorry. They all knew. They all knew she did not deserve that. But they did it anyways. And they think it's funny. My dad would laugh obnoxiously. I can spiritually hear him. As I'm talking about this right now, I can hear him saying, ha 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 ha. Oh, whatever. Oh, grow up, get over it. So, after that, after that happened, I saw that happening. I'm like, oh God, I'm not gonna ruin my body on drugs. I didn't believe in taking like antidepressants or like I didn't believe in taking like things like that. Um, because I knew that they had side effects. Those drugs have like side effects. That's why I've been like doing my natural healing and it's actually working a lot better. You know, obviously I'm not shaken like that anymore, but I my condition has improved since I left them a lot. How could you do that to I don't know, dude. But so I saw that happening. I saw them trying to destroy me with like drugs, lock me away. Like they just wanted me locked away in a crazy bin and forget about me. As if I had nothing to offer as a human. You know, they always treated me like I was worthless. I make the most beautiful music. I have the funniest jokes. I do my job so well. Every listen, the job I work now has a rating system out of 5 stars. I have 4.99 stars. I can show you right now. So call me worthless. Here, I can show you my rating right now. This is my customer rating. I have a perfect 5.0. So you're going to call me worthless. You're going to call me worthless when I have a perfect rating. Like, I have the funniest jokes. Me and my friends laugh all the time. Me and my internet friends, they're not very close with me, but we laugh all the time. We're always having fun. I have the most beautiful music. They're just like, "Oh, she's better off locked away." I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Like, why would I be better off locked away? Obviously, everybody enjoys having me around. Just lock her away, put her in the dirt, whatever. That's crazy. So, how would I be worthless? Obviously, I can prove that I'm not. It's disgusting. They were the real lazy ones. They were always thinking, like, oh, I don't have to be considerate to anyone around me. I don't have to care about anybody that lives with me. I don't have to care about them. They serve me. Yeah, sure, sure. They were the real worthless ones, not me. 334455. Dang. 55555. So, right, I saw it happening. My bad. I lost my track. I'm a little emotional. So, um, I saw everything happening. They're gonna put me in an asylum. They're gonna put me on drugs. They're gonna just ruin me. And they're just gonna lock me away and not have to deal with me. Just throw her in the trash and forget about it. Throw her away and forget about it. Who cares? Right? while I get to sit there with all these side effects and pain. My body would be destroyed. I was smart enough. I was thinking, I'm like, I was looking at these options. Oh, we're trying to help you. You have options. No, listen. I knew those drugs had side effects. And so I'm like, no, I'm going to stick with my tea. Thank you very much. And they're like, no, we're trying to finish the job. No, we're trying to shake you up even more. We're trying to push you. They were trying to push me to the point of no return. They were trying to push me off the deep end so I couldn't get back up. And I saw that happening. No thanks. I'm gonna stick with my teas. Thank you very much. And it seems to be working a lot better because obviously I'm not throwing up and having uh whatever side effects, right? They were the real lazy ones. Just throw away, don't have to deal with it, who cares? They were the real lazy ones because if anyone comes up, like, this is what I don't understand about these people. If a helpless person was in my house, a helpless person in my house, but they are trying, they have a job, they're trying to make something of their life. Now, why would I abuse them? I cannot wrap my head around that because I would love being a good host. If someone's at my house, I take care of them. Like being a good host. Like I have a visitor. Do you want some tea? Do you want some snacks? Um, like why? I don't get them. They were the real lazy ones. They wanted to throw me away in the crazy bin and forget about it. We don't have to do anything. They're the lazy ones, not me. They're the lazy ones. It's completely selfish. So, yeah, I saw that happening. I saw them trying to drug me and things like that. Um, so I saw that happening, and I threw all of my belongings into a storage unit. I put all of my stuff into a storage unit, and I left to go live in my car. And it was not great. I didn't like it. But they were always so manipulative. They were like, ha ha ha, serves you right, and this is what you get. And I'm like, no, I have to get away from your crazy butt. Like, I have to get away from you. Like, yeah, victims go through a lot of hard things just to get away from people. So, yeah, I lived in my car and I'm still paying this bill. And, like, at this point, yeah, dude, my bills were piling up so bad because I had to leave my job. My parents were abusing me so bad that I had to leave my job, and my bills were just piling up. And I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna get my car repossessed. I'm gonna have this bill on me. I'm gonna have this one. I can't eat. I don't have enough money for food. Like, I didn't know what to do. Um, you know, I don't know. This is kind of a lot. This next part is like kind of a lot. I've been going for like 40 minutes. So I'll do the next part later of me living in my car and having basically nothing. Living in your car is extremely painful, but I'll explain more of that in the next video. But thanks for giving me the time of day, I guess.